And we resume. Let's try getting this up and going again. See here. Having to reboot kind of sucked. Fox, you there?
Here.
Yes. Would be. Huh.
Mar.
Mah. Game make E. And let's hope this actually works. Because I'm going to go insane if it doesn't.
I need to show you a sketch real quick, and I want to hear your reaction, because I want your reaction live on fucking air.
Really?
Yeah. I might be working on one of your emotes.
I got it! It's working! The whole thing felt like a dream, but I had proof that it wasn't. The girl was nowhere to be found, and reminded the baby. I'll go ahead and take a peek. Is it in here?
Here.
I'm looking. Don't see a direct message or anything.
I'm literally screen sharing it right now.
Oh, you're screen sharing. That's why. Are you seriously drawing my eyes going in opposite directions while screaming?
Yeah.
Oh, God fucking damn it, T-Fox. I guess first verse, second, same as the first. Second verse, same as the first. Yeah, I get. Is this because I was getting angry at it?
No, it's because I used your E emote. I was like, he needs another one.
As it. Oh, so I don't. I have more scram than can be contained by one emote. Is that it now?
Yeah, you need a second E emote.
God fucking damn. Now 17 years have passed. It feels only yesterday, and again, it feels like a million years ago. I confessed I had reservations at first about raising that baby. Could I love her? Her existence was thoroughly unexplainable. Thought could be that young woman who snatched away my beloved daughter. That led to sadness, anger. There were times when I put my hands around her throat. Several times I even considered abandoning her. What a terrible person I am. But I decided to raise her after all. I just couldn't seem to let her go. See, you look at me. She laughs. Even now, I can't forget about that girl. But I love you. Have no doubts about that. That's all I ask you to believe. My precious daughter, Mason. Dad wrote about my past in here. As always, this should be novelized.
I mean, her dad was a writer. It's pretty on brand.
Now I can finally look at it? Start my key. The start time is my key.
I see a dragon.
Oh, you sent it. Oh, it's a Freyer. We have an invader. A cute, fuzzy dragon invader.
Mm.
He's come to make off with all the butts. So I need to go back downstairs to the Cuckoo Man's room to get the key. But that letter from Harry Mason to his daughter is just actually pretty neat. They did a good job with it. Ah. I just wish I wouldn't have so many technical difficulties. And I gotta decide whether I want to edit things together with in DaVinci afterwards, or go ahead and just post them as 2 videos on YouTube. You know, I can come up with something awkward and funny. Why not? Don't know if anyone's gonna actually see it, but hey, might as well. Like me.
Sorry I didn't respond to you last night there.
Me or T?
You. I had purposefully gone to bed early because I had been staying up too late.
Oh, but you know you want to.
It's been impacting work, so.
Oh, that. As in people noticing?
No, I'm just getting late to work and all that.
Nail polish remover.
Did you get what you needed when you poked me here?
I have no idea. By the way, I decided to pick up a heart rate monitor recommended to me by Christiani on Neo.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go ahead and likely be using... I might try to integrate it into the stream if it's compatible.
Should be able to. Even the basic software for the one that I had a thing you could throw in as an overlay.
Cool. Maybe you can help me figure that out later.
Yeah, it was just a window that you could crop and throw on there.
Can I change the background to Chroma key it?
I don't recall.
I guess I could always ask the people developing it for that feature.
Depends on which one you got. The one I got was super.
Oh no! Oh no! Who dat? Who dat? Get wrecked, bitch! Crunchy! But I came up with the absolute worst combination. If I were to ever set it up so that people could actually do something like play sounds while I had a heart rate thing up, I get the feeling people would be trying to give me a fucking heart attack.
Yeah. I was gonna say a dragon with underfluffies, but you know, you win.
That's just your hobby, Freyer, is violating underfluffy. Oh my god, T. I hate it. Oh my word. People are probably gonna fucking love it, though. Hello, Awoo Squad. How you doing? Just make sure you cut off the part, after .com because it kind of breaks otherwise. Sal, you are not immune. Yeah, I'm not sure why it broke. The avatar technically has 2 versions. I was trying to not do link to anything that directly showed that version. I was trying to only link the safe for work one. It kind of failed. Perhaps. Maybe, I don't know. See if that works. I copied it directly from my browser. Wait a minute, I'm having a fucking moment. Let's check the storeroom first. I like that. It goes great, Uwu. Oh, stun gun ammo. Oh no, creepy guy letter again. Heather, my most sacred lover, I'm always watching you, no matter where you are, what you may be doing. I have never lost sight of you. I know you feel intensely lonely, yet with a single key to this door, those feelings won't stand in the way any longer. We haven't been able to see each other for so long. Be patient. It's just a little long. I'll be patient too, even though I long to hold you in the key is behind shelves in the underground garage. Why there? Ask the idiot doctor. Imagine when we had to use pen and paper to take notes in video games. These days I just take my cell phone out. There's not a single person here who's right in the head. Not just in this hospital. I mean in all of Silent Hill. Except me. Stanley Coleman. Is Stanley Coleman a name from the last game?
Not that I remember, but
Level skip passwords. But yeah, I was kind of sad when Harry died. Or was dead. Special treatment room. That doesn't sound good.
Just trying to get you to take the medicine.
Yep, this is Sal. Flowing freely, your ebony hair like the night sky, scattering fragrance. My heart clamoring in my chest like a storm, you trifle with it. Your pristine glance like a feast. My thoughts disturbed, my breath like opium. It drives me. Eric, a great poet who conveys my feelings so well. I shouldn't have let this place get to me. Should never have gone crazy. But it's superbly enjoyable to drown in my love for you. But why won't you accept proof? Don't stand on ceremony. After all, you and I exist. What I give you is the same give to me. Hello, Grayson. How you doing? The lock is broken and it will not open.
It's a programmer kitty.
Yes, program the kitty. I wonder if the same trick I used downstairs will work. Let's go ahead and try.
What a coincidence, I just woke up too.
So, we're going to start with 4, 2 to the right, 1 up, 2 down. Nope. Not that. Two to the right, up, 2 down. Nope. Not the same password. I also like the roof. It makes me want to fly. You too?
Look at all that fog. So thick, you could slice it with a katana.
Look at this shit.
Ah, fuck, I died. Let's choose continue.
The old game that I managed to make work, if you die, it just shuts the game down.
What game?
Hard War.
What?
Hard War.
Never heard of it.
1998, I believe.
Still never heard of it.
Yeah, not many would have. Takes place on, I think, Titan.
Yes.
Hey, heckin' nerd, look at this.
A little bit exaggerated on that, but I know I guess you're doing the sketch, so that's why the cleft is that strong.
What do you mean cleft?
The divot in the muzz.
Yeah.
Okay. It's looking neat so far, though.
It's I decided one thing I kind of want to do is like the completely uneven pupils, so you look like you're like really going. "Eh!"
Glitch in the fucking matrix, is that it?
Yeah.
Maybe have one in one corner and the other goes in the opposite corner, slightly up and down while going apart too.
I like the idea that you're only slightly cross-eyed, but your pupils are doing shit like this.
Like to simulate the motion of going like eee.
More just a stylistic thing.
It almost looks like the weird star eyes of Rick and Morty.
Uneven eyes are a stylistic thing. I think that they can look really good.
What was I looking for? Brain. I will ooh woo loudly.
Do it.
Actually, that
I was trying not to comment.
lamb.
I kind of agree with you, Programmer Key. I think that the pseudo old static positioned camera that they use here is just doing the game a disservice.
What game are you talking about? The one I'm playing?
Yes.
Well, that's just Silent Hill and old horror games in general.
The fact that it's trying to emulate the static camera position, but not really committing to it. It's a pseudo action camera, sort of.
It wants to restrict it now and then.
I actually like it. I think that as an artist, I can see why they do it, and I think that it allows them to frame things really well.
Except when it gets you killed, which kind of sucks.
I'm just saying that if they wanted to do a static camera, they should have just stuck with a static camera.
I'll disagree with you this one.
Okay.
You know what? The stun gun might be actually good on these.
You gonna electrocute him?
Ah! Submachine gun bullets.
I've got Time Crisis stuck in my head.
Time Crisis.
Yep.
Oh, to get the actual gun, I need to get to the base. Where saves coming? I'm a very, very naughty boy. Saves coming. Aha! Since now I know I can just run around and grab the ammo and leave!
Oh, listen to that bird song.
I think I'm being mocked.
No, I'm enjoying it.
I am no Tweety bird. Hecky the camera programmer. Grayson. That's new.
You pooped something else.
Mow. By the way, what kind of genre would you guys mark something like Dot Hack as?
Isn't it an RPG?
Technically, it's like this weird simulated MMO.
I'd list it as an RPG. Maybe an action-ish RPG for GU at least.
But I'm starting to think that November might be a month that features a lot of finishing up games before I do other things. I've got Final Fantasy X to finish and Ocarina of Time.
Who the hell finishes games? Jeez.
I can't say that I've watched the anime, hun. I went in the elevator when I didn't need to know. Back out we go. What?
I think
that
I
bird
captured E.
Oh god.
This is your
Excellent.
emotion.
That looks like I'm about to rip someone's face off too.
It's because I put teeth on it. You're like,
Yeah,
"Eh."
Avali are cute and cuddly until you see their teeth. And then it's like, holy shit, that's scary.
I've seen those teeth.
Hello, Methyles. How you doing? Welcome on in. We're engaging in save scumming. How about you? Well, pull up a seat and have a good time. So long, suckers! I got what I wanted! Oh, shit. That was a thud. Let's go down.
Sake of emoting,
Huh?
I'm gonna give you eyebrows, but they're comically oversized eyebrows.
What, like Metal Gear Awesome?
Kinda. They're like, ooh. Eh. They're also gonna be like kind of coming off your head a little bit. They're not gonna be realistically positioned.
Electrical room.
Gee whiz, I hope a tank doesn't come out of nowhere and own me.
The wheelchair. Where's the person that was using it?
The person went to the moon, of course.
Oh my word.
Machine gun.
Heineken? Heineken? That's how it pronounced it! Thank you for the sub, Kimaru. Much appreciated, hon. Heineken. What the fuck? Apparently it didn't agree with that normal pronounce of Chimpkin. Alright.
Laser Heimken.
Laser
Are you-
Keimken.
Laser Kankin.
The lights are flickering. Oh, oh, what the? There's a space, suspicious space between the shelf and the wall, but I can't squeeze in there. There's no way I can move the shelf either. Streaks of blood, so something got dragged.
You're in danger.
All just junk. I don't think it's important here. I just wish the Eon GameCube thing wasn't so expensive. Because I would like to start playing some GameCube games too. Like, sure, I could just use Dolphin to play my library, but... guess they must be in that elevator.
Well, see, his skeleton just got annoyed and decided to leave.
A skeleton?
Yeah.
I'm confused.
The skeleton in the person's body just said, screw it, I'm out.
Now, that being said, stairwell key. Gone to all those places. Possibly be left. The key is behind the shelves in the underground garage. Why? Ask the idiot doctor.
Hey, Logan, do you have a room on that map?
I have a what on the map?
You have a room on that map. Yeah. And there's one room of interest in the basement.
Yeah, I'm going back to it. I get the feeling using the camera might be a thing. Not sure.
This isn't Fatal Frame.
No, it isn't, but it doesn't particularly matter. Well, it
There,
was the camera.
I have captured the full E.
Oh, I had to take a picture of a code on the back of the shelf. Ay. 9142.
And now you have the code. That's a good shot with that camera.
The floor 3 I get out. Someone needs to make a world based off this in like some sort of VR area. Now, personally, I'm going to recommend Neos for that. Because of increase.
Okay.
I didn't take a picture of it.
If you get the ability to have animated, animated emotes, you have to make this one jiggle.
Alright, alright. Isn't that partners only?
I'm not sure. I think they might roll it out to everybody soon.
I'm still uncomfortable about that data breach, though.
Yeah. So far, all I've heard is its site source code and the repository of the top earners, but That's about it.
Clock's broken, but otherwise no big deal. Magazine. I'm gonna gossip magazine. Teaching Despair. Hope House. Hope House, an orphanage on the outskirts of Silent Hill. But behind its false image is a place where children are kidnapped and brainwashed. Hope House is managed by the Silent Hill Smiles Support Society, a charity organization sometimes called 4S. It's true that 4S is a well-respected charity that takes in poor children without homes and raises them with hope. But at its heart, it is a heathen organization that teaches its own warped dogma in lieu of good religious values. What? Mr. Smith, temp, who lives near the Hope House, said this to say, "Sometimes at night I can hear their weird prayers and the sounds of children crying. I went there to complain one time, but they ran me right out. Since then, it hasn't changed a bit. In fact, this reporter was refused admission when he attempted to take photographs of the facility. What exactly do folks at Hope House have to hide? During my investigations, I was able to discover, however, a suspicious-looking round concrete tower, which appears to be part of their facilities. Unfortunately, no one was willing to tell us what the tower was used for, but it seems unlikely that it has anything to do with the business of raising orphans. It may in fact be a prison or a secret place of worship. The cult religion that operates Hope House is known by the locals simply as the Order. It's a religion that is deeply interwoven into Silent Hill's history, but its worshippers' fervent belief that they are among the elite chosen people has a dark and dangerous side. I intend to continue my investigation of Hope House and the cult behind it. I've always believed that telling the whole truth and showing the children the true path is our most important duty. Joseph Schreiber. Hope House. I feel like I've heard that name before.
Alright, Legends, I gotta get ready for work.
Alright, bye-bye, Floofderg.
Still smart for you. And you too.
The floofiest of dragons.
Everybody. Bye.
Fun
Huh?
little factoid, Lorgans.
What?
Hope House is actually one of the most important locations in the Silent Hill franchise.
Not surprised.
You go in there in a bunch of the games.
Is it that elementary school I went to in the first one?
No.
I don't remember going to it in the original.
It's not in the original, but it's in 2 and 3 and 4.
Oh, someone's getting a little bit psychotic, I see. Goodbye, Heather. I'm sorry I wasn't able to respond to your love. It's all over. Leonard despises me because I made fun of it, saying it would come to this. If it weren't for this, his meddling, I would have been able to meet you in just a little while. Then I could have taken you to my world. A world where us alone, more beautiful than this one. And I had been waiting for this day, for today. The day I'd see you, the day you'd save me, the day. Heather, watch out for him. Leonard is no ordinary. Farewell, I loved you. Heather, my goddess. Heather, my lover. Heather, my... Guess some people are just... The doll is all torn apart. Really pretty sad to look at it. But anyway. Oh, no you don't. You ain't getting up to harass me anymore. Die,
He
bitch!
started slashing.
Get slain.
Get decimated.
Nine shotgun shells left. 96 submachine gun.
See, the SMG isn't that great.
Yeah, it says use it for bosses specifically to just unload on their face. Heather doesn't exactly seem like the kind of person who'd be able to easily deal with one of those anyway.
I find it funny that she's like the only one who gets an SMG.
Yeah, you get the unlimited one if you, I think, in New Game Plus.
Yeah.
Hello?
Claudia.
No, I'm not.
Don't lie to me, Claudia. You're always trying to run from your responsibilities. Have you come to apologize? Or maybe you still don't realize how foolish you've been. The salvation of all mankind. Ah, what a ridiculous dream.
Wait, just listen to me for a second.
I've heard enough from you already. How did you turn out this way? Where did I go wrong?
Listen to me already. I'm not Claudia.
You're not Claudia.
My name is Heather.
Heather.
Who are you?
Leonard Wolf. I'm sorry. I thought you were my daughter.
Claudia is your daughter?
Oh, so you know her, do you? Are you one of her followers?
No, never. When I find her, I'm...
I can feel the hatred.
What?
Behind your words. The anger. You plan to kill her, don't you?
I'm sorry, but... She killed my father.
She's a fool. But she's still my daughter. I was going to forgive her if she changed her ways. But I see it's too late. Heather, will you help me?
Help you?
I'm locked up in here, and I must stop Claudia.
Where are you now?
I'm not sure myself, but the door is at the end of the hall on the second floor. I think I can be of help to you. I have a seal. Please.
A seal?
Well, that's cryptic. All these people are fucking nuts.
The end of the hall on the second floor.
I mean, if you lived in an Eldritch Horror, you'd probably be nuts too.
Gross, the whole bed smells like year-old sweat. end of the hall on the second floor. I've noticed over the years that Japan seems to have an affinity for very creepy horror. Have you noticed that, T?
Well, I think I wouldn't say it's a specifically Japanese thing. I think everybody kind of likes uncanny horror. Like,
The way they do it just feels distinct.
maybe. I don't know.
Hey Jack, how you doing? Welcome on in. We're getting ourselves fucking lost. Ba-ba-booey.
Oh boy.
Love the franchise game? That's an interesting way of putting it. So yeah, Silent Hill has been pretty good so far. And this is my first playthrough of this game, and I've been playing the series for a little while too. Oh no, it's a gateway to the hell world. That's not ominous at all. Honestly, I think Silent Hill is sentient.
As far as I know, Alessa was split into two halves, and one of the halves is a horrible, vengeful spirit, and that's what this Silent Hill manifestation is. But the lore got muddied over the years, and there was a lot of badly written games, so...
And then Konami kind of fell off the edge of the earth and did stupid shit.
I think what was originally intended is that Alessa got split into a good side and a bad side. Because she was so horribly tortured. And the bad side is what makes Silent Hill like this. And the good side is the angel that you saw at the end of Silent Hill 1. Which is now reincarnated as Heather. That's some pop in there.
Yep.
Either it's like Alessa or some eldritch evil that was born inside of her as a result of the ritual that's now been unleashed before it could take a physical form.
And thus it became Silent Hill.
Yes. It's kind of ambiguous, and later on they do expand on it, and I know that there's some official lore to it, but I really do not consider any of the games after 4 to be really worth talking about in terms of lore.
And of course, the fact that they're doing a PS5 exclusive for any potential new game is kind of in itself a bit suspect.
A little sus, you're saying?
Yeah,
They're being sussy bakas, you say?
I think it's foolish, to say the least.
I mean, to be fair, Silent Hill 1 was PlayStation exclusive.
But it's time for the game series that are this major to not be that way. Oh, okay, Jack.
Yeah, Silent Hill, I feel it's the scariest of like the main big horror games that were coming out back in the day, and it's sad to see that it stagnated.
It
I'd say
really
that the worst
did.
I'd say that the worst mainline Resident Evil games are still better than the worst mainline Silent Hill games. I'd still rather play Resident Evil 6 than Silent Hill Origins. Yeah. It's funny the other day getting to talk about whether Silent Hill or Resident Evil's better, and I really don't think either is better. I think Silent Hill's scarier, but I think Resident Evil is a great action in general, and it still manages to be scary.
Huh. This picture. This one doesn't make my head hurt when I look at it. But I know this one. Must be.
Still has an unusually high fever. Eyes don't open. Getting a pulse, but just barely breathing. Why? What is keeping that child alive?
It's her. What the hell? Was I daydreaming? No, it was more like watching a video in a dark room. But that nurse, I know her. Lisa. Who was so heavenly towards me in the hellish hospital room. She did get a little weird, though. Her memories are starting to bleed together, aren't they?
This game is good, honestly.
Sorry. That's it.
I can put the mic a little bit closer so I'm a little bit louder.
Hmm.
Honestly, though, Silent Hill 3 is a great sequel. I think, honestly, past this point, I would have been happy if they just kept doing side stories that didn't try to expand on the lore too much.
Well, Silent Hill is a setting.
Exactly, because Silent Hill 2 doesn't really do much to expand the lore of Silent Hill.
Oh my fucking god, what are you?
Oh, that's Voltiel.
Voltiel?
Yeah, that's his name. I don't know what the fuck Voltiel is, but that's his name.
Well, I'm not sure what to think about this shit.
This is the place where the walls just pulse at you. Gross. only one thing I would say about this game, though, is that the extras cast is a little bit weak.
I doubt I need to check this out. I avoid touching this kind of thing if I can. A piece of meat or something on the ground. What's that? This weird sour smell wafting around.
Slurpers.
Hey, get off me!
Honestly, I don't think the Maul is that great against these. I think the Katana might be better against them.
The problem is they're so short. If I use the jerky,
So, you've now reached the point in the game where I think you can figure out what the enemies are kind of themed on. They're
Yes.
all related to birth in some way.
I kinda got that idea. The weird anus monsters look like some sort of weird fetus.
That's exactly what they're supposed to be. It's literally the exact thing they represent. Why do you think one of the bosses kind of looks like a penis?
Disgusting sexual themes.
I mean, they made it a little less obvious than like Mora, but it's still pretty clear what it's supposed to be.
Penis with defensive foreskin flaps.
I don't know if there's any like Twitch rules about showing Mora from Persona in game, like while you're streaming.
I think it's so long as you go past it as quick as you can or don't focus on it.
I'd still be tempted to blur it out. Just be like, you know what? Nobody needs to see this.
Massive giant dong. Oh, wait.
Look what's happening in the mirror.
Yep.
FYI, if you stay in this room too long, you die.
Yep, I am leaving.
That's literally a thing. If you stay in this room for an extended period.
Won't open.
Oh, I forgot what you gotta do here now. I think you might have to like hit the mirror or something. Nope, apparently not. Hebrew, are there any personas that just straight up are a penis, though, other than Mora? Am I thinking of a different room? You might just be able to leave now. Oh, nope. Yeah. Dead.
Let me guess, that
I
one
don't-
just kills you no matter what.
I don't know if there's a way to get out of there.
Unless you leave immediately.
Let's look here.
Oh, jeez, it put me this far back. How are you doing, Kiba? Honestly, though, I don't see why they'd have a worry about Mara, considering they allow manhunt. It seems kind of funny. Isn't it in Europe that violence is more of a focus on what is banned? And in the US, it's more focusing on sex? Welcome to hang out as long as you want, hun. Good bean.
Yeah, apparently that room just kills you.
No matter what.
Yeah. As far as I can tell,
Still has an unusual.
once you're in, you're fucking dead. You just gotta wait for it. BRB.
That's bullshit. One moment, I'm looking up the details on that room because it pisses me off. So it is literally designed just to kill you.
Did you look up the room?
Yeah, I did.
The alternate storeroom.
Apparently, people can escape if they have it as soon as the character freezes in the mirror.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going in again, though. Like, it's definitely a cool effect, but locking you into pure death is kind of bullshit. I noticed how it's kind of neat how there's always this transition area. So ignore the storeroom. Or is it the
Yes.
examining room?
It's the storeroom.
Wait, this... What's an examining room?
I'm assuming it should say, like, exam room.
Dead body hanging from the ceiling, dripping into a totally filled bucket. Who would do this and for what? Like full out bloodletting. It's kind of sad that it won't let you do things with your melee weapons, interact with the environment. But I get the feeling that this is all in some way meant to symbolize what they want her to become. I found out what the perfume does. Apparently, it actually attracts the nurses.
Huh.
Die, bitch!
It's a really fucking weird game where you literally play as a dog. Through Steam right now.
Well, I got all three of them for the price of one beef jerky. They're vulnerable to that, I'm guessing.
A lot of enemies still just go for the beef jerky. Doesn't work on certain ones though. Like I don't think the nurses go for it.
Humanoids don't go for it, I think.
Yeah. I think the slurpers might.
avoid the storeroom. Because that is a trolling thing. That is just literally trolling you for wanting to be a completionist. Guess we're going to the elevator, to the elevator, ooh, ooh, elevator.
My lord. Ooh, ooh.
Meow. There's 3 basement levels. Guess we're gonna go to floor 2 now. It lets us. What?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear. Oh, I forgot your name.
Who are you?
Oh, okay, thanks. Happy birthday, dear. Who are you? Happy birthday to you. Happy 31st birthday.
Is this Leonard?
That's the murderer's name, not my name. I'm not your beloved Stanley either. He's underground now. His new name is Number 7. But don't worry about that now. It's time to celebrate your birthday.
You've got me mistaken for someone else. Today's not my...
I'm not mistaken. Today is your 24th birthday. And I have a present for you. Which do you prefer? To give pain or to receive it? You can have the one you hate the most. Happy birthday to you!
But you're wrong. It's not my birthday.
Fun fact:
Huh?
the two ages that he said 31st and 24th. So if you add up Alessa's age with Heather's age, you get one of those numbers, and if you add up Cheryl's age with her age, you get the other.
That's kind of freaky.
Yeah.
So he definitely knows her somehow.
Yep.
Guess we'll see. I wonder if he's gonna get a pummeling. Holy, what the dear fuck is that noise? Always hit him once more for good measure.
So if Alessa Gillespie was still alive and had never reincarnated, she would be 31. And if Cheryl had survived and the end, she would be 24. Where
What
Heather
in the
is
fresh hell?
17.
Something strange is cooped up in the locker. Bloodstained light robe. Does it mean anything? Well, I'm leaving this room.
Oh, by the way, the phone wasn't plugged in.
I know it wasn't plugged in.
I think it's funny.
Ay, 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 ay. Ay, ay, ay.
Funny thing, it's actually kind of a running theme in the Silent Hill franchise for people who, commit murder, to number them. Number the people they've killed. Despite the fact that the most famous serial killer in Silent Hill history, forgetting his name, he's mentioned in Silent Hill 1, 2, and 3. Walter Sullivan. Walter Sullivan is not the guy who killed Heather's secret admirer. But he does the same thing. He numbers everybody he kills.
Like, the guy who was her secret admirer doesn't seem like he was actually someone truly malicious, though.
He was somebody who was extremely mentally ill.
Yeah. And it was kind of sad.
Paranoid delusions, mania. I'm not a psychiatrist, I can't diagnose more than that. He was definitely manic. You can't be overjoyed and attached to somebody who you've never met like that without some level of mania.
Get wrecked! I have sacrificed the beef jerky to smite you. Using your hunger. Worrying about where things are coming from seems to be a running theme.
Oh, found even more fun. Fun that call. Ooh, fun little fact. Did you pick up one of the payphones in the subway?
I never came across one ringing.
Okay, in the subway you can encounter a ringing payphone. If you listen to it, the person hangs up before they say anything. And it can be presumed that the shotgun is a birthday present from the mysterious caller. That's fun. That's like lore that's like kind of deep. It's not like surface level. You know, I think the reason the Silent Hill games got worse as they went is Silent Hill is, I'd say, dips one foot into Eldritch horror and the other into kind of,
So you think
what
he
would you
lost
call it,
sight of...
psychological.
You think they lost sight of what made Silent Hill Silent Hill?
I think that when you have two genres that kind of thrive on the unknown, going too deep into the lore and like codifying too much of it is a detriment. Because one of the big differences between a video game and a book is that it's hard to have an unreliable narrator in a video game.
Because you can observe things.
Yeah, like the player's watching things happen. I think the closest you could get is first person and then showing your character doubting their own recollection of things.
Basically throwing things into question. Constant.
They kind of did that in Sanity's Requiem, like Eternal Darkness Sanity's Requiem, where your character has hallucinations.
Which are, in turn, simulated hallucinations for the player.
Exactly. But yeah, Eldritch Horror kind of thrives on not knowing things and having narrators be unreliable, where Silent Hill is kind of half in that Eldritch side. It's not... It's fear of the unknown, is what Silent Hill is. So when you explain too much about it, it loses a lot of its fear factor.
A handful of dirty syringes. Not about to use them, that's for sure. The memo here on the chart. Dr. Midkiff. Please use extra caution with the patient in room 312. He should still have his religious freedom here in the hospital, but he shouldn't push his faith on the others. The victim, too. Rumor has it he got here by stabbing someone over a religious dispute. Please be careful. R. Crosby. P.S. Looks like the rumor is true. According to the head nurse, I do not think he's a good person. Otherwise, though, easy to deal with. 312.
The other big part of Silent Hill is that it's a psychological horror.
Yeah, it makes you question things.
So again, it's another kind of horror where explaining things too much kind of makes it break down. And then I think the third mistake that they made was having recurring villains. I don't think Pyramid Head should have been in any of the other games.
No, it should not. Now, you could have something similar to it, like a callback, but it can't be the exact same thing.
The nurses in the Silent Hill games all represent different things to different characters.
The nurses might have a conflicting meaning for Heather and her previous.
Yeah, the nurses have a connection to her previous selves. For James Sunderland, they're dressed way sluttier.
On purpose.
James Sunderland is a pervert. Yeah, some of the monsters in Silent Hill... Okay, the main themings for the monsters in Silent Hill 2 are guilt and...
abuse.
Abuse of sexual... not a sexual abuse. He was abusive, but he wasn't sexually abusive. But it's this idea of he's an awful person. He's a total pervert, total deviant. But puts on this little persona,
Veneer.
this veneer that he's this wimpy, cowardly person, when in reality he's a fucking asshole, vindictive person.
So, I get the feeling that this person... this person in 312 is the one who went nuts and stabbed people, and also killed the poor mentally ill dude.
Yep.
The world is teeming with unnecessary people. It's God's decision that I fight, as a knight of honor, as a protector of the seal. I sacrifice myself, the blood of criminals. Root this, some twisted individual, eh? I see this, and I want to ask him. Oh, you think you're one of the necessary ones? It seems like I've heard this protector of the seal business somewhere before.
Yeah, the way I'd put it though is all the monsters in Silent Hill 2 represent James's fixation on sex, on his own anger issues, and his own guilt. And guilt can be a selfish emotion. It absolutely can. Guilt can be the feeling that you are the cause, the center of the universe. Not all good guilt is good guilt. Or like, not all guilt is like...
Is healthy.
Not all guilt is healthy. I think that there's some healthy qualities to some forms of guilt, but then there's also the narcissistic guilt, believing that you are the center of the universe.
That you are the reason for everything.
Exactly. And so, James Sunderland, yeah, love to hate him. Love to hate him. He is a narcissist. He is an asshole.
I guess we'll find out if he learns anything later, won't we?
Oh, I can't wait for you to play Silent Hill 2, because, like, it's a Silent Hill game about a person who deserves to be there. Oh boy! I think
Weren't there other Silent Hills that had actually good stories? Not necessarily as a Silent Hill game, but as taken of itself.
I think 2 and 4 are... They don't really contribute much to the lore, but they're just stories about Silent Hill.
That's okay. That's not a bad thing.
It's definitely not a bad thing. I think that's the way that you kind of should push Silent Hill. Just tell new stories about other people.
Yeah. Because, like, here's the thing. If they do that, if they do go through with getting Kojima and the other ones working on a new Silent Hill, like the rumor is, because let's be honest, it's not like Konami hasn't already chased off most of the fucking talent they had. So it's not surprising they'd try to get him to come back to do something on a contract basis.
Silent Hill Downpour had a good idea. Let's make a Silent Hill game about a convicted felon whose bus crashes in transit, and he ends up in Silent Hill.
Poetic irony?
And it's a good setup, and it works for the start of the game, and they take a lot of inspiration from Alan Wake, and I actually do like the start of that game. I think it's got some great atmosphere. I think the way that you come into Silent Hill is really interesting, and they really do play into the eldritch horror of Silent Hill. The issues being the mechanics, how glitchy it was, the open world section being very not good. And then finally, the monsters don't represent anything. They're just supposed to be scary, and some of them aren't even scary. They just frankly look ridiculous. Imagine if you took the foreskin Muppet monsters from Amnesia: The Dark Descent, and then you gave them makeup like the Insane Clown Posse, and then stuck them in a white jumpsuit.
Well, apparently
That's...
you represent cuteness to Salad.
I mean, Sal's free to have his own perception of reality. Honestly, though, yeah, Downpour had potential. I feel like it feels like a game that was rushed to market and suffered from not enough people vetting ideas.
You think it's worth playing?
No.
No? That bad?
The weapon durability mechanic is awful. It's glitchy as hell even after several patches. The open world section is not fun at all. And there's so many things that just break the horror. The other thing that I found is that it reuses set pieces a lot. Or not set pieces, but you basically get chased by this black hole that like warps space around it, and they really play into that like eldritch, like, oh my god, space is collapsing on itself behind me, I have to run. They do it so many times it gets old. And it's not scary anymore. I do not think that there is a truly great Silent Hill game after the first 4. Homecoming, debatable, some people like it. Shattered Memories, same, like some people like it. But Origins was awful, Downpour was awful. And then we didn't get any more for the longest time because... Oh, there you go. Happy first birthday on the wall there. Fun fact, you actually cannot get into this room unless you talk to the man on the phone. Incidentally, there's also a birthday card that says happy 37th birthday, which would be the age of Alessa plus Cheryl plus Heather, all put together.
Fucking bitch!
And I just realized that, you know, they use the term birthday a lot, which also has to do with birth.
There's something on the platform too thin to be a person. I don't think I'll go so far as to pull the sheets and check.
There's just a beef jerky man from Dark Souls under there. Wee. So which one of these games do you think you'll play next? 2?
I could.
I'd recommend it. I'd say the 2 and 3 are tied for the best in the series. Now, personally, 4 is the one that scares me the most.
I think that would be the case for me.
I don't remember what it's called.
I'm not too keen on these rooms. I'm actually getting a frame drop with this. Oh my.
The term is claustrophobia. Claustrophobia is the fear of being locked in a room, trapped, imprisoned.
Not just your
Which
usual
is-
for this, like an altar of something. Lit candles and a knife and what I smell. Worship that picture or something in that. Go ahead.
Yeah, claustrophobia is what I have. Claustrophobia is the fear of small and closed spaces. You don't have to be trapped to feel claustrophobic. If you crawled into a box and somebody like closed the top, you could have a claustrophobic panic attack, despite the fact you could easily just crawl out of the box. You don't have to be trapped. But if you lock somebody with claustrophobia in a room, there you go.
Alright, here we go. So, the title is Lost Memories. One characteristic mentioned only in rare documents, dying out in the modern age, is that of the ritual sacrifice. Offering prayers, pierce a man's chest with a copper stake, drench the altar with blood which spouts red from the heart to praise, joy, loyalty unto God. In another sacrificial rite mentioned in the same book, the victim is burned alive. This was more a dignified ceremony in which prisoners and sinners were not allowed to participate. Only the clergy could be sacrificed. Similar to burning at the stake, no comparable rite can be found in religions practiced nearby. It may have some connection with the main deity being a sun god. Though this religion extols redemption, it brings to mind a dark and cultish history.
Game's kind of realistic in the way that people use the term cult, but I disagree on how they're using it.
Saw this drawn on the dividing screens of the hospital. This is different. It seems like it was drawn a long time ago. Somehow.
Yeah, in common parlance, cult basically just means a religion I don't like.
Really, it's quite a bit more complex than.
Yeah, like, if you look it up in the dictionary, you get definitions like, a religious group or sect, considered strange or uncanny, like things like that, but there's no solid definition. Which is why we have things like the Stephen Hassan bite model, which goes into the psychology of toxic groups.
Honestly, I usually consider most religions to be a cult, but that's me.
And when you look at them on the bite model, not so much. You can look at them as being harmful if you want, but it's better to score things on the bite model if you want to get into stuff like that. Like,
So basically, it's a score of how harmful something.
let me bring it up right now. Bite model by Stephen Hassan.
How about you rate the Cult of Silent Hill on that?
I don't think we have enough lore to go too deep. But
Probably.
let's go over. This is a topic I find very interesting. So BITE is an acronym. It stands for Behavior, Information, Thought, and Emotions. So behavioral control includes things like promoting dependence and obedience, modifying behavior with rewards and punishment, dictating where and with whom you live, restricting or controlling sexuality, controlling clothing and hairstyle, regulating how much and what you eat and drink, depriving you of 7 to 9 hours of sleep, exploiting you financially, restricting your leisure time and activities, or requiring you to seek permission for major decisions. So that's them trying to control your day to day life. Information control is withholding or distorting information deliberately, forbidding you from speaking with ex members and critics, discouraging access to non insider sources of information, dividing all information into inside versus outside doctrine, generating the use of propaganda extensively, requiring you to report thoughts, feelings, and activities to superiors, and encouraging you to spy on and report others' misconducts. Also, using information gained in confessions against you, or gaslighting. Thought control is instilling us versus them, good versus evil thinking, forcing you to change your identity or even name. Using loaded language, basically teaching you thought stopping techniques, trances and hypnosis.
So basically, just a hot mess. And that really just. There's a lot of boxes that are ticked with a lot of these places.
Teach thought stopping techniques to prevent critical thoughts, allow only positive thoughts, reject rational analysis, critical thinking, and doubt, use excessive meditation, singing, prayer, or chanting to block thoughts. And then finally, you have emotional, which is to instill irrational fears of questioning or leaving the group, labeling some emotions as evil, worldly, sinful, or wrong, teaching emotion stopping techniques to prevent anger or homesickness, promoting feelings of guilt, shame, and unworthiness, showering you with praise and affection, aka love bombing, to get you to join the group, threatening your friends and family, shunning you if you disobey or disbelieve, and teaching that there is no happiness or peace outside the group. So I do believe that the order of Silent Hill ticks enough of these boxes that we could call it a cult.
Yeah.
But most of these people who are calling it a cult are doing it because they think they're weird.
Yeah. What is it, Ember? Why? What corner? Hang on. One moment, guys. I'm back.
So most of the very big groups that we think of when we think of the word cult tick most of these boxes.
I don't have anything you can use this with, but. Sorry, I'm having a lot of people wanting my attention. Len.
If you're ever looking at joining a group, make sure that you look out for these things. They might be introduced slowly. Love bombing is a very bad sign. If you are invited to a meeting for any group, the first thing they do is show you as much love and affection as possible. That's a very big red flag. And if you feel like you're getting in on the ground floor, you likely aren't. A lot of these groups use specific social engineering techniques to make you feel like you're responsible for the group's existence, which emotionally ties you to it. It makes you feel guilty if you ever start to turn against them, because you feel like you helped create something bad, which will keep you in. And the reality is that most of these groups have been around for years before you got there.
Yeah. They only do that to try to get people more invested.
Yeah, exactly. It is a very big thing. Even Hassan has a lot of very interesting pieces of, has a lot of very interesting books and just overall, like, the stuff he puts out into the world. He really wants to educate people so that they don't stumble into these things blindly. He gives you the tools to look critically at these groups before joining.
Yeah, people should always examine that. Critical thinking is the enemy of people like that.
And even smart people end up in cults. Being
Yeah.
a smart, critically thinking person is not enough to stop you from getting wrapped up in a cult. There are plenty of very smart, very rational people who end up in those situations. So just because you're a smart cookie doesn't mean it can't happen to you. And there's a lot of people who end up trapped. Specifically people who have some form of public image on a wider scale than a single community end up trapped in these situations.
Okay, let's see what happens. Let's see.
Drip, drip, drip.
It opened a gateway? That's a bit different. I think there's really not nearly as many of those issues with that.
The furry community isn't an organization is the biggest thing. We're not a club. There's no membership. You can't be kicked out, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Heather?
Yeah?
Now,
Leonard, where are
I
you?
look back and I found out
Now
that the
I can
group
finally leave here.
I was in for years
Now
as a
Claudia's
small
ridiculous
child
dream is
was a
over.
cult
Well,
through the
guess
bite
it's
model.
time to dispose of her. The salvation of all mankind. Ha! Why must we reward even the unbelievers?
What are you talking about?
About our plans, of course. It's true that God is merciful, but first, one must be chosen. Only we, who hearken to the voice of God, will be given the keys to paradise. Don't you think so, Mother?
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, organizations like the People's Temple Agricultural Project, which is very
What do
famous
you mean
cult,
by that?
Hang on,
scored
cutscene.
basically perfectly.
I mean that I don't think the way you guys do. I don't want any part of that kind of paradise.
You're an unbeliever. You deceived me.
I didn't deceive you. We were both just wrong about each other. I thought you were a normal person.
So you tried to trick me so you can run off with my seal, eh? Heretic! You plan to destroy God!
I told you I wasn't trying to trick anyone. What is this seal thing anyway?
Don't play innocent. You can't fool me anymore. The seal is mine! I was appointed by God to be its guardian! The only thing you'll get from me is a gruesome death.
There's a bacon monster.
Is that you?
Death to all who turn their backs on God!
Is every person here a mental case? Well, I guess you're not a person anyway.
Bruh.
Yeah, two good examples of organizations that are no longer active. I'm not going to talk about any active groups. 'Cause I don't feel like that's super appropriate on Twitch. But some inactive groups would be the People's Temple Agricultural Project and the Supreme Truth Cult, otherwise known as the ALF. The ALF cult of Japan was very famously referenced heavily in Earthbound for the Super Nintendo. The town, the town with the Happy cult, who all wear blue. Yeah, that's what it's referencing. Oh, bye-bye, Kibaru. Also, I'm confused by what I see in the moderation log, but I'm not going to question it. I saw a block term get added and I went, huh. Shoot that bitch. Oh, he slapped you. Ow.
Hey, it wasn't particularly a hard boss. I used 2 clips of the SMG and like 3 to 4 shotgun shells.
Leonard's not here anymore. I guess I should head back to the motel now. I hope Douglas is okay. Huh? What's this?
Oh, hon, I see you have this game I'm looking at. Fel Seal Arbiter's Mark.
I kind of figured that's the one. Like it at least, if I correctly. I think I did pretty good on that fight.
Yeah.
I have no spare SMG. No spare shotgun. It is really stingy. God damn. I actually started using the mace more than I thought I would. It just requires a bit more positioning to use well. Some of those hospital segments lagged to shit. But yeah, the only reason I basically...
Why did you send her to my father?
Was that wrong?
It's your
Cutscene.
fault that he...
Oh, but surely it's a good thing. It means he was one of God's beloved, no?
Those who mock God will never receive salvation. You'll go to hell, Vincent. You'll never feel the joy of God's everlasting paradise.
And you think God is going to save you? Ha!
What do you know anyway?
I know about the pleasures of this world. And I want to find my happiness while I'm still here. You hated your father, didn't you? I saw the way he hit you, and kicked you, and made you cry. The memory of his cruelty is forever burned into my mind.
Yes, yes, and that's why we need God.
What you call faith is nothing more than a child crying out for love. That's why you're all alone.
You don't understand. None of you do.
If you want to meet God, lady, I can arrange for that. Just not the way you want it. Oh, my eye was twitching a bit. That's, comfortable. I think there's a lot of other classic Japanese horror games, or games that fall into the same kind of family as Silent Hill, aren't there?
Well, there's definitely, I'd say Fatal Frame, definitely.
Downside is you have to use that finicky.
I never found the camera obscura to be finicky myself.
It
I
gives you
actually
plenty of
really
breathing
like
room.
I find it does. I think that there's some areas in the first game where it can get a little bit difficult because you're in super cramped quarters and ghosts can fly through walls. But overall, I'd say Crimson Butterfly and the Tormented, the camera works perfectly fine, like 99% of the time, and in the first game it works good like 95% of the time.
Those
I'm a
spinning
huge
things are
proponent.
weird.
The pendulums, yeah. The ones that sound like a cacophony of power tool fucking.
Run away! Yeah, but the mist in Silent Hill was never as bad as the mist in Silent Hill 3. Are there
It's a
places
feature.
where mist can actually get that thick?
Yes.
That's terrifying.
I've been in mist this thick before.
Not generally a common thing, I think, is it?
Nah.
Where's Douglas?
He went out. But he left a message for you.
Was there someone else here just now?
No, just me. Don't you want to know what the message is?
Yeah, what did he say?
The church is on the other side of the lake.
I was kind of,
Church?
I'm a little bit disappointed now. I was looking at a new D&D book, but it looks like it's just a collection of stuff that's already in the
You
game.
don't understand? That's where Claudia is. Across the lake. On the north side. If you're going, you better go through the amusement park. It's probably the only way in now. Go northwest on Nathan Avenue. It's a bit far, but closer than heaven.
Is that it for the message?
Uh-huh.
Thanks. Douglas really said that?
What's wrong? You don't trust me?
No. All the way up Nathan Ave.
Now, at least there's a new D&D source book coming out now. It's coming out in a few days.
Yeah, that they need to stop doing all this pussyfooting and give people actual content that's not campaign settings.
It's called Fizzbon's Guide to Dragons or something like that. It's got the rebalanced kobolds and dragonborn. It's got a bunch of classes, and it's got a ton of monster entries relating to dragons, overhauls of some of the dragons.
Did you know there was in the Dragonomicon, they actually had options on how to play an actual normal dragon?
Yeah? Was that like a 3.5 thing?
Yep.
Ah, okay.
The whole benefit of a dragon is it's powerful. Like, nerfing things to make quote-unquote playable kind of destroys the reason why people...
Well, you could just play a younger dragon.
Yeah, you could. That's the
That's how you
idea.
balance it.
And instead, it
Well,
ages
baby
up.
dragon. Yeah. Yeah. Gain XP so you can evolve. It's getting pretty late.
Sending her straight into hell already, eh?
Oh, hell.
Oh, hell indeed.
Like how there's no blood on her jacket or on her vest. That was not there at the start of the game. How much longer do you think you're gonna go?
Oh, this is where we were at the beginning.
Looking for saves.
Yeah. That she does, Tremor.
Oh yeah, she's a normal like high school kid. Gets thrown through all of this. Again, one of the best things about Silent Hill is that you're not some super cop.
You are not
just
the Lord of
normal-
Machismo.
Yeah, you're just a civilian. A normal-ass civilian. With no combat training. I think it's a little weird that you get a katana. Considering this is taking place in... I think this is supposed to be the Northwest United States. So you're like... Oh! I'm completely wrong. It's in Maine. The more you know. Be right back.
Mar.
Mama.
Handgun bullets. Hello, Helena. How you doing? Well, come on in. Something is shaking the... Oh, it's the... trying to quote-unquote repair the, parking lot. Things seem to have fallen off the shelf. This wasn't part of my dream. Ampule! think I've just about got everything. Looks like it. Mountain coaster. Come on, open up my inventory! Hey, yay, yay. Hello. Epis. Ah, okay. Cool, welcome back. If there's anything the dream told me, it's don't go onto that track. Six hours and 2 minutes so far of raw gameplay, according to the game at least. Not counting any bugs we ran into. I swear those construction workers are making me nervous. Feel like I'd catch something nasty if I touched it, but I don't mess with it. Not that I specifically want to. We have turned off the roller coaster.
I hired you to find the girl, and you performed serviceably. What is it now?
You lied to me about Heather, lady. I don't like being used.
Lie? What lie?
That Heather was kidnapped from you.
But it's true. She was originally one of us. That man, Harry Mason, stole her away and kept her hidden from us.
Yeah, but she says she was happy.
She was brainwashed by him, deceived, because her true self had not yet awoken. She carries God within her. But when a lesser, Mother of God truly awakens.
Yeah? What's gonna happen?
She will usher in the eternal paradise.
What kind of place is that?
A place with no pain, no hunger, no sickness, no old age. There will be no greed or war, and all will live by God's grace alone.
No this, no that, no nothing. A paradise? For castrated sheep, maybe. Sounds pretty boring.
I pity you. You still don't understand. You're going to kill me? Is it really so easy for you?
I've done it before.
Then I truly do pity you.
Haunted mansion? Really? Guess that's our option. Poorly haunted mansion. Alright, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it for today. Go ahead and find someone to raid, shall we, guys? Be able to go ahead and finish this up tomorrow. Because I don't think we have too much left. Oh. That said, who's currently streaming? Who is on? Alright, I think I know who we're gonna raid. That said, you wanna see when we go live? There's always the Twitter. Good God, I don't want you to put up the ads with unmuting it that way. Come on. That's not very classy. There we go. There we go, and we also have the Discord for our little community. So, that being said, let's go ahead about raiding. Thank you all for ever so much for coming by. It's been great. We should be able to finish the game tomorrow, probably around the same time as usual, 5 a.m. Eastern time. So, have a good one. Thank you all. Here we go.